So there I was, sitting in a hospital room at midnight, and the doctor walks in and goes, "Sir, we think it's your appendix." How's it going, guys? Dylan from If Cars Could Talk, and today is another edition of, well, a new series that I'm doing where I tell my crazy car stories. Now, before you stop me and go, "Well, VinWiki already does that," yes, I know, I enjoy their videos, but saying I can't copy that style of video is like saying I'm copying Doug DeMuro if I'm standing in front of a car. So nonetheless, today's story is, well, the story of how my appendix burst when I went to Monterey Car Week. And trust me, it doesn't have a happy ending. But first, before we start, let's pop open a consumable, a beer. One of my favorites, Carl Strauss Red Trolley. This is not an endorsement. I don't think they would want to endorse me, actually, but I enjoy the beer. If they don't like me, don't sue me. Sorry. Now, obviously, the objective of this is to finish this beer by the time I finish this story so that we're both having fun. And, well, I've noticed that you guys actually quite like these stories. I think this one's quite interesting, a little bit tragic. But honestly, Monterey Car Week, if you don't know what it is, it's... God damn it, hold on. Alright, sorry about that. Now, yes, Monterey Car Week. This is my favorite time of the year. And I'm bringing up this video fittingly so because next week I'm going to 2019 Monterey Car Week, where of course I'm going to be doing another series showing you all the crazy things that take place there. And, well, it's kind of an interesting place. I want to preface, before we get started with the story, why, it's such a significant thing to go to. This is a place that, well, you can see literally a multi-million-dollar Ferrari parked outside a Motel 6. And the main reason being is this is really quite a quiet and quaint and beautiful town that just turns into madness. And because of that, well, you have too many rare cars and too many rich people. So you can find a Motel 6 going for the price of, well, the Ritz, which is just absolutely insane. Now, obviously this car week features many things, whether it be the Laguna racetrack where you see, vintage Bugattis and crazy things driving on it. Obviously the auctions where some of the most significant cars get auctioned during the year. What else? Little sub, car shows, like whether it be Italian or Porsche only, and you'll see thousands of Porsches. And obviously unveilings too of some of the most significant cars. Last year, there was some crazy Bugatti, and this year I think it's now the new Chiron Super Sports. So it's just a place where things happen. But most importantly, it features on Sunday the Concours d'Elegance in Pebble Beach. And that's literally the most significant concourse you could possibly win. Just to get on the lawn, you have to sell your kidney so you can afford a ticket. And it's said to be so significant that if you win this concourse, you can actually add a 0 or 2 to the end of the price tag of your whatever rare car it is if you do ever sell it. That's just how significant it is to win it. But sorry, back to the story itself. So we take this car every year to Monterey. We are lucky enough to be reasonably close to drive there. And, as I said in many of my videos, what the hell is the point of, having these cars sitting here if you don't actually drive them? We can't obviously... Well, maybe I could use this as a giant coffin. That would be pretty extraordinary. But before that, obviously driving it's ideal. And this year, the drive is going great, but I felt a little bit constipated. And I know that's maybe a little too much information, but bear with me, it's for the story. God, stupid fly. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I guess I live on a farm and there are flies everywhere. But anyway, we are driving about a few hours, finally hit Monterey, absolutely just ecstatic and still constipated. But regardless, that all went away because, we're looking out the window and I'm already seeing just endless Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and I get out of the car and, well, I'm doing the thing that I love the most in the world, and probably the most juvenile thing you could do. I just love car spotting. I know I'm getting a bit older now and it's starting to look rather pathetic, but I'm probably never going to stop. It's just so much fun, specifically in Monterey, because you're hunting, but knowing you're going to be able to hunt, because there's just such a surplus of craziness there. I mean, to give you an example, it was dark out, and I ended up seeing, I think, a Bugatti Chiron just on a side street that we chased down. I ended up seeing a vintage, I think, 275 GTB Ferrari just on the side of the road. You know, a line of just Rolls Royces and just the craziest stuff you could possibly imagine. Oh, and a 4GT with a big stripe on it, right when it came out. And that's just an example for you. But this time it was a bit different, because while I was trying to car spot, I was just feeling pain, and it was really screwing things up. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, it got kind of late. We were car spotting to a time that, well, probably when I end up leaving bars. And that's just to show you how, first of all, insane I am and how insane Monterey is with the car scene. But not only that, we ended up going to, you know, the hotel and check in and, you know, just sort everything out. We hadn't even gone to the hotel yet. We hadn't even eaten yet. And already I get stuck looking at the cars and swooning over them in the valet. Give you an example again, I saw a F50, I saw a Carrera GT, I think it was actually owned by the same gentleman. I snuck into the lower section and saw a 959 and a Loft. I mean, this is literally just routine stuff. And I ended up going to dinner after we checked in, after I ended up looking, well, forever. And I just couldn't eat. I was feeling, I think, about a 6.5 in pain at this point. And it was far past the, you know, perception of constipation. It really wasn't that. And I couldn't eat. So I ended up going up to my room. But on the way, to show you how insane Monterey is, I casually run into Magnus Walker. Super nice guy. I was probably smiling with pain like this the whole time during the picture. And yeah, it was cool. But I sucked it up, went upstairs, and I decided to have a bath to try and make me feel a little bit better. At this point, I'm at a 7.5 in pain. Nothing worked. I go to the window of our hotel room and I look out to the car gods and I say, why are you doing this to me? Why would you ruin my car week like this? And as I'm doing that, I don't know if it was a sign or not, 'tis a sign, but I saw a, what was it? Oh, right when the Speciale came out, I saw that drive past. And an F40, because right across from our hotel there's the parking lot for the auctions where they store the cars. So it just didn't end. I'm airily seeing, like, just insanity. So the pain momentarily left, but came back straight away with vengeance, and I'm trying to lie in bed, and at this point I'm feeling a 9 in pain. So we decided to go to the hospital or emergency room, wherever they fix people. And well, we go downstairs, we call valet to bring this giant beast out. And while I'm waiting, Monterey hits again, because I casually again see a Porsche 550 Spider just parked on, you know, a side street not too far away from us in the dark, obviously with the roof off, Spider being, you know, convertible. And I'm just amazed that someone would leave this multi-million-dollar, incredibly significant Porsche sitting there, and yes, it was a real one. I'm admiring it. I'm taking pictures of it with a 9 in pain, and the owner ended up walking up, and I was talking to him, and well, it just shows you what a car lunatic I am. But I have a better example of how insane I am, because when we finally do get in the car, we drive, and I see yet another insane car. There was a Porsche roof, I think it was RGT. Alright, sorry. It wasn't the RGT, it was the CTR3. The 240 mile an hour Porsche Hyper whatever car. It's insane. So naturally, I'm yelling, we have to pull over the car, we have to go. And unfortunately, there was a center divide between us, and it was pulling into a gas station. And knowing the pain level I was at, the risk factor of, well, crashing this thing over a center divide, we decided not to, but I've regretted it my entire life. Alright, so I'm sitting in the hospital room, and I'm just really anxious, and I'm feeling a level 9 in pain still, right in my lower stomach area. And you know, I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally the doctor comes in. So there I was, sitting in a hospital room at midnight, and the doctor walks in and goes, "Sir, we think it's your appendix." So luckily for me, I ended up coming in so late at night that they were unable to do the surgery that night. So I had to basically toss and turn in utter panic throughout the entire night, hoping that my appendix wouldn't burst and waiting for, well, a very early surgery. Now, the next morning, I go into surgery, I finish the surgery, and I'm half passed out in pain, and the doctor walks in, he goes, "First of all, the surgery went really well." I was like, "Great." But he said, "Just to let you know, while you were running around taking pictures of cars, your appendix could have burst at any minute and killed you." Looking back, yeah, it was probably a bit crazy, and I maybe like cars a bit too much. I mean, just thinking about the fact that I was taking pictures of a Porsche 550 at 11 o'clock at night with a level 9 in pain and my appendix on the verge of bursting, and yet I was still there looking at it. But I have to say, it was pretty cool looking at a car like that, at a time like that, in a place like that. And in retrospect, it wasn't so bad. I survived. I'm lighter now because I don't have an appendix or constipation to go with that. And I ended up being at a hospital with a fancy koi pond, endless ice cream, and I got to be driven back at the back of a Rolls-Royce Phantom, drugged out of my mind. Shut up, crow! Oh, that worked. Alright guys, so that is it. Jesus Christ, bear with it. The story of me losing my appendix during Monterey Car Week. You know, a scary time, and obviously a devastating time because I ended up missing out on my favorite week of the year. But as I said, I'm going to be there this year. The series starts next week, so please follow along. It's going to be crazy car shows, crazy unveilings. We're going to go to Laguna Racetrack. We're going to go to Pebble Beach Concourse. We're going to be doing a lot of crazy, cool, and maybe exclusive stuff that you may not see anywhere else. And well, you get to see me as well, so if you don't like that, then there might be other channels. But anyway, guys, if you want to see more of my content, please follow me on, of course, YouTube, but Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well. Now, guys, if you want to see what type of equipment I use, check the Amazon links below. And guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!